back to my kitchen, and today I'm going to be making a carnivore crust pizza. Now this is going to require a lot of little intricate things. It's super simple to do, by the way. One of the main ingredients to the carnivore crust itself is going to be just canned chicken breast. It's pretty simple. Just drain it, and we're going to go through the process from there. Hopefully I'm trying a new setup here. I got a microphone hooked up. Before I couldn't get my microphones to work. So hopefully I have pretty decent audio. If you can't hear me, just type in there you can't hear me, and hopefully we'll say that, figure this out. But anyways, need a cheese grater in order to do this. We're gonna also need a couple extra bowls. Just put the cheese in. We're gonna need one bowl because we're gonna be slicing up a bunch of mozzarella cheese. And I did find some really super clean mozzarella cheese when I was shopping at the store yesterday. Another ingredient we're going to need is hard Parmesan cheese. Now, if you can get this Parmesan cheese in the brick, you're going to be doing yourself a favor because it's got no anti-caking agent type issues with it. Everything just seems to work well. And yeah, this stuff just works. It's also just a super clean option. This is also going to be part of the actual crust itself. So this is an important part. You need a hard cheese, Parmesan, Asiago cheese, any type of hard cheese that you like will make a really nice pizza crust, and it'll be just like bread when we get done. Another ingredient that I have was ham. It's incredibly difficult to find a super healthy, clean ham. Especially pre-sliced. So I just went with this option here. It was one of the cleaner options compared to a lot of the other sliced meats, and I do want this as a topping on my pizza. Now pepperoni, I chose boar's head, pepperoni beef stick. Now this is something I'm gonna have to cut up soon, and we're gonna need a sharp knife in order to cut this into pepperoni slices. And the reason why I went with Boar's Head brand is because it's a pretty clean option. It's going to be super healthy, super tasty. Boar's Head does make a really good type of pepperoni, so this should work. Hi there, Dorothy. Can you let me know if you can hear me? That's my biggest concern right now because I'm using a new setup, Dorothy, and I'm hoping that everybody can hear me just fine. But yeah, we need to get this started. Now, another thing I use, and sauce is optional when it comes to doing any type of carnivorous type of pizza. So I picked this up because I was just intrigued by the product. It's a Italy in the Bronx, alla vodka type sauce. I was going to make the pizza with this sauce on here. Another reason I chose this sauce is because the ingredient list on here is pretty darn solid on the back. There's not a bunch of nonsense, added sugars, just really weird stuff going on in this sauce. And another alternative sauce is something you can find at Three Bears here in Alaska or Costco, for instance. And this is that Raouz, is that how you pronounce that? Raouz homemade tomato sauce. Now, tomatoes themselves have natural sugar. If that's a problem, just don't use this. You can always use an alternative, but this is also another option for making a carnivore crust pizza and just trying to stay majority meat-based type diet. Now, something else I'm going to have to use is a couple rubber gloves, and we're going to have to use an egg to actually make the crust because everything here is just going to bind together. And it's going to be a little slow process when we get going. Thank you, Dorothy. I appreciate you. Let's see, Dino Nugget says, yes, I hear you. Perfect. Thank you, Carnivorous. Anything exciting happening in your life lately? Okay, let's just cover a couple basic topics. So what's going on with my channel right now? I did make an announcement I was starting another YouTube channel. I have squashed that idea last night because I am too busy. Real life, work life, family life. Just trying to schedule these videos is becoming incredibly important. I have a lot of videos lined up for doing, you know, canned meat type options. So all of those videos are still relevant to my carnivore type channel. I'll just be posting them here. And that's it. So I have a lot of videos already stacked. And if you're a member, you can see the videos early. And if you're not, then you're just going to have to wait till the video comes out someday. And that's just how I got it worked out for right now. I just got done doing a fourth video. It's going to be uploading like next week or the week after. And those random videos are going to start coming out on Wednesday at approximately 11:45 Alaska time. So whatever that equates to down in the lower 48, because that's just when my viewers are online. So I get to look at my analytics and I can see approximately when most people are watching. So that's when I'm going to upload those videos, is when my peeps are online. All right, so I need to get this drained out, and that's never the funnest part. But all right, so this is just canned chicken breast. Now this is going to be the base of my little experiment here by making carnivore crust pizza, and we're just going to head on across over here. Now something else you are going to need is parchment paper, and I do have parchment paper. You can use just a regular baking sheet, just spray it with some olive oil or something like that. That'll help keep everything from sticking. So first things first, I need to get this drained out the best I can. And I probably should choose, let me see here, I can do something for my dog. I'll just drain it out into one of these bowls. That way my dog can have the juice, or the majority of the juice. I don't like wasting anything. It's pointless. You know, you get stuff, you know, even if it's canned meat, canned seafood, tuna fish, and we drain out the juices and then we throw it in the sink. It's like, man, what have I been doing? I've been doing it wrong. So, all right, you try to squeeze as much moisture out as possible, because moisture is not your friend when you're trying to make a meat-based pizza crust. So I'm just slowly working my thumbs around, and we're just draining as much liquid out in a bowl as possible. So that way I can give it to my dog, and she'll drink it, and she'll be happy. That's the whole point. All right, there's a lot of water in canned chicken. Man, it's amazing how much water comes out of this. Or whatever the liquid is. I'm pretty sure it's just water. So, okay, when that's done, there's your canned chicken. It's pretty well drained out. We're going to take this little bowl and we're going to give it to the pup. That way she can enjoy it. All right, come here, dog. Let's go. We're going to take care of you. And, oh, the cat got in there right away. So, oh, check this out. Yeah, they share. So I got cats that share with the dog. That's so cool. Especially that one right there. That's Dusty, or we call that one Baby Bear. And that's Taz over there, because Taz is a crazy cat. Taz just antagonizes all the other cats and creates fights in the house. All right, back to the pizza crust. Now I need to take this and put this in a bowl so we can get the pizza crust started. And I should get a fork out, because it's going to be kind of hard to get that out of there without a fork. And I had one already ready. Oh, look at that. I mean, I almost had like everything set up today before I even started the live. Normally we're just stumped through this thing, just trying to figure out like, oh man, what am I doing? Why did I hit the button already? It's too early. So, all right, we're just going to take the chicken. We're going to put it in the bowl. And I can't remember if the recipe called for 2 cans or 1 can, because that 1 can doesn't look like enough. So we're going to definitely do 2 cans just to get started, just in case. I don't want to screw that up, because it's YouTube. That's when you're going to make mistakes, is when you hit the button. You're going to give that can to the dog. Now, we're going to have to add an egg in there as well. So let's go take care of this second can. I think my dog already polished off that bowl. So we're going to reuse the bowl. Oh my goodness, I'm like tripping over animals. I love my animals, and I'm like straddling my dog right now. This is great. So, all right, let's get back over here. We're going to take care of this can right here. See, this is why we make videos about doing this, because trying to do this in a live stream can be, you know, incredibly time consuming. So I just try to be somewhat entertaining if possible. All right, get this bowl in the sink. Because yeah, let's stop wasting stuff. I mean, that's the whole point of the carnivore diet in the first place, is we don't have to waste everything. You know, we use the meats, we use the fats, we use darn near everything. And since we're Alaskan native, you know, we like, wow, my cat is just so curious about what's going on here. And since we're an Alaskan native family, we like to reuse every single part of the animal if we can. It just makes sense. I got relatives up north, they love fish heads. So we just put them in the freezer and put them in bags, and whenever somebody comes to town, we just send a whole bunch of fish heads up north for the elders. and they really appreciate it. Because, all right, kitty, look out. All right, we got to give the dog the bowl again. That way we're not wasting anything. I hope my dog's not making too much noise. She's got some horribly loud, like, fingernails, toenails. And I got more cats that are curious about what's going on the table. This one's about ready to frick the egg off the table, so I got to be careful with that too. Put you over here for safekeeping. Let's see, today we're doing a carnivore crust pizza. We're going to fumble through that. I haven't done this in a while. Now, this is a keto-based option as well. So if you're doing the keto diet, this works. If you're doing the carnivore diet, this works. And the reason I'm doing this is I had a serious craving for store-bought pizza when I got home on Friday. That was a problem. I was like, man, I want to buy pizza. Or, you know, like Papa John's pizza. I got another somewhat safe pizza I usually order, which is from Milano's. They use really good, high-quality ingredients, both Papa John's and Milano's. There's a couple other pizza places I can kind of trust. I don't eat anything from Domino's or Pizza Hut, for instance. These cats are feral today. It should be an entertaining live stream. All right, the chicken is in there. That is the base of the crust. You have to like get in here with a fork and shred this up the best you can. The smaller the pieces, the better. This takes a little bit. It's not hard. I mean, yeah, I could reach in there with my hands right now, but I'm trying to keep my hands somewhat clean until we start the actual mixing process of incorporating the cheese and the eggs. Okay, so I got the meat pretty well shredded up in there, and it shreds super easy. It's just canned chicken. The Kirkland brand is the one I use this time. Before I tried a Walmart brand, I didn't like it as much. It had a lot of stuff in it that I didn't want. It had a lot of weird stuff going on in the can. Kirkland doesn't have nearly as much weird stuff going on in the can. And I'm not sure why they find it necessary to put random ingredients in this stuff. Preservatives, I kind of get it. They want a shelf life. They're trying to make maximum profit. Okay, the chicken is done. Next step I need to work on is taking care of this bad boy right here. That's where the extra bowls come in handy. Get some of our other ingredients out of the way. So since this is a small block of cheese, we're going to use this small red bowl here. And I need to get this package of cheese open. This is where a sharp knife comes in handy. Always cut away from yourself. Hey, get out of that. Oh my goodness. Gray Bear's over there trying to eat the chicken. I can't win with these animals. They just want to be a part of the videos. They get excited when I get the camera out. They're really curious about what Dad's doing all the time. So it doesn't matter what I'm doing, even if I'm sleeping. Last night I was surrounded by cats. I was trying to sleep, and they were just all surrounding me because it's been cold up here lately, like down in the minus 6, minus 10. It should be warming up in the next couple of days. So, man, look at that piece of cheese. Isn't that gorgeous? That is a Hard Rock Parmesan cheese, and I can't wait. I can't wait to use it. So you want to use about a cup of cheese in your mix. And let's see here, which one should I use? I'm gonna use this side, I guess. So we're just gonna put this down in here. We're gonna start grating the cheese out. Doesn't have to be perfect. This shouldn't take too long because this is just hard cheese. The softer cheese is a little bit harder to grate. Hard cheese is really nice. It doesn't stick inside the cutting edges here. It just kind of falls right in the bowl. I hope I bought enough of this, because this is an important part of making the crust. If I don't have enough of this, it's going to be really hard to make the crust. So if you like watching a big man make mistakes in the kitchen, this is the place to be. Because I don't plan this stuff. I just kind of like wake up one day and say, I think I'm going to do a live stream about making carnivore crust pizza. Maybe it's a good idea, maybe it's not. Let's see, somebody's talking there. Never made one yet. Mixer, food processor, works great. You have your Venom gloves. Yeah, I love the Venom gloves from Costco. They work really well. I've been using them for everything lately. Processing meats, taking care of my feet, my whatnot areas when I had that athlete's foot situation going on. That is gone. Yes, thank you. That is gone. Thank you, community. You guys are amazing. You helped me out. I mean, I could have figured it out on my own, but I figured it out a lot quicker, you know, with the carnivore community and everybody that's involved with my situation as far as my weight loss journey is going. I mean, it's just super helpful having quality people in your corner like you guys. I mean, it really does help me because I'm just a simple guy. I'm nobody special. I just get out here and talk about losing weight, what I'm doing, how I'm messing it up, what I'm cooking, what I'm eating type stuff. Because people do ask me a lot of times like, hey, you know, what are you eating? How do you keep losing weight so fast? And it's really simple. I mean, as far as weight loss goes, I've been losing weight with the 90-10 eating principle, which is 90% meats and fats, 10% I love my life. Now the 10% I try to keep it keto friendly. So when I go a little bit off the rails, you know, it might be like with a sauce or something. I do have some new sauces I wanted to try out too. At some point, I'm not sure what I'm going to use these for, but I have a vegan sriracha sauce. I thought it was pretty cool. I was like, oh wow, vegan sriracha sauce. On the back, the ingredients are pretty darn solid. I mean, even though they're vegan based, vegetable based, I like that. Another sauce that I picked up, I do want to try this out. This is probably another vegan option too. I don't care. That doesn't bother me. The problem is certain vegetables bother me. But this is like a jalapeno hot sauce. I wanted to try that out too because it has a super good ingredient list. That makes me happy. Vegan, carnivore, don't care. As long as the ingredient list works for me, I'm gonna purchase that product. All right, let's try to get every last bit of this cheese cut up without taking a finger off. That would be embarrassing. That's the only hard part about this. When you're doing hard cheese, you're trying to get every little bit out of your cheese. Because, yeah, I'm gonna be stuck with this little nub. And hopefully this little nub doesn't turn into a piece of my finger being stuck in there as a little nub. But we're pretty close. Now my dog likes cheese, so I can give my dog a little piece of this when I'm done. Okay, we're getting closer. All right, here doggy, that is a little tiny piece of cheese. Okay, that part is done. Now this has produced a lot of very nice hard cheese for the carnivore crust. That is the secret, one of the secret ingredients to making a good carnivore crust. You can also make a carnivore crust just by using mozzarella cheese. It's gonna be a little bit more difficult to do that. That's why I don't use the mozzarella cheese, even though I've tried this once. I didn't like the quality of the crust. The hard cheese seems to bind the chicken together and make it more bread-like. And I fed this to my children. They didn't really notice the difference. They had no idea, you know, until we told them that that's a meat-based pizza. And then they were like, ew, gross, it's healthy. What the heck, Dad? You know, that type of stuff. So, all right. I'm going to put approximately a cup in here. And you can play with it. You can add, you can subtract a little bit here and there, you know, until you get a decent consistency. But I have approximately a cup in here. And I'm going to save a cup for later because I might want to put some of this on top of the pizza with the mozzarella cheese. And then the only thing left I have to do is just simply put an egg in here. The egg helps bind everything together. And when this cooks in the oven, because you have to pre-cook your crust. So, no. Almost. There we go. That's a pretty small egg. I might need 2 eggs. That's a small egg. I'm not going to worry about it. We're going to see how it works. Now, this is where the gloves come in. Now, you're going to want some gloves for this part, and probably for a lot of parts. So having a box of vinyl gloves kicking around, whatever you use to cook with, might be helpful. I can also use a fork to get things started, but at some point it's really helpful to get your hands just right in there, down and dirty. Now, a friend of mine was telling me a secret because I was having problems with parchment paper. Trying to get the parchment paper to actually lay flat. It was driving me insane. Couldn't figure it out. Now, a very close friend in town was like, hey, try this. See if it works. Do it in your next live stream. If it works, it works. It usually works for her. So I was like, all right, you know, I'm trusting you on this one. You're going to embarrass me. So we're definitely going to give that a try, you know, to see if that works. Now right now I'm just mixing this up with a fork to get it started. And then once I get to a certain point, we're going to break the parchment paper out. We're going to set it on this cast iron. It's basically a pizza thing. I bought this for actually making pizza when I was eating super unhealthy pizza. And I just love the way this thing holds heat. It holds a lot of heat. My family still uses it for making their pizzas. It makes the bottom of just the traditional trash pizza taste pretty nice. I like it. And that way when your pizza, you pull it out of the oven, you sit it up on top of the stovetop, it'll help keep the pizza warm while it's sitting up there. It's so silly. Man, the investment of stuff that I used to do for staying unhealthy, it's just amazing. I spent so much money, you know, on these stupid little unhealthy things. And it's just like when I used to smoke a lot, like a lot. I used to smoke 2 to 3 packs of cigarettes a day. I went out and I bought like fancy lighters, Zippo lighters. I mean, it had total accessories, different types of ashtrays for specific reasons, cigarette cases, you know, all that ridiculous stuff that I don't even have anymore. I still have one of the ashtrays out here on my entryway, but that ashtray was from my father when he was in, he was enlisted back in World War II. My father was an old man. He passed away already. God bless his soul. He was an amazing guy. But he had used to collect all kinds of military stuff. He had like a pressed out ashtray made out of aluminum. It's just awesome. So I kept it all these years. Now, some family members might come over and use it. I do smoke occasionally, but not like I used to. I mean, like I said, I was like 2 to 3 packs a day, every single day. You know, driving around my truck. I no longer smoke cigarettes in a big truck anymore. I will smoke occasionally at work. One of my favorite things to do at home that's not particularly healthy is I will vape. And I don't worry about the haters because I don't care. It's like, all right, whatever. So, okay, we're to this point right here. I'm going to get my parchment paper, get it over here, and we're going to see if my friend Priscilla, I'm calling her out, my friend Priscilla is lying to me. This stuff is not my friend. Just figuring out how to cut it or get it to work like outside of the, you know, somewhat straight, that was a pain in the butt. But this might get a little loud for a second, but her advice was, you just take this and crumple it up into a ball, and then it should lay flat. We're gonna see right now. We're gonna see if that's a lie or if this is gonna work. Because if I lay it out, it does that crap, and the ends want to do that. If I flip it over, that's not too bad. I can kind of manage that. I'll just trim the edges. But I want to see if crumpling this up is gonna work. And she seriously said, just crumple this into a ball. Maybe a couple times. But this is her trick to getting parchment paper to lay relatively flat. It doesn't look pretty. Okay. Well, that was dumb. It worked. Thank you, Priscilla. All right, I'm going to cut off some of these edges like a 2-year-old toddler with toy scissors, just because if you don't, the edges will burn. And I don't know, I've never had it catch fire, but it burns. It burns in the oven. So the better the circle, the better it's going to do. So we're just going to kind of cut a circle around. Yeah, because I'm like 2 years old. Okay, come here, you. There we go. Maybe I should have cut the circle first. Oh, get off of here. It's okay to make a mess on your own floor. We're gonna cut. All right, I think I'm okay. Oh, now I got little pieces of paper everywhere. That was great. It's okay. Pick that up later. I'll pick it up now. I don't want my wife coming home and seeing that. So we have an approximately round shape going on here on the pizza pan. Now we're just going to take this. Now, if you wanted to, you could put garlic powder, a little bit of garlic salt in here. Some garlic powder might go good in the crust. So we're going to find some garlic powder somewhere. We're going to add just a little bit. Okay. Da-da-da. I do have some. Look at that. I got some garlic powder. I'm gonna put some garlic powder in here. I'm not measuring anything because I don't really care that much about measuring. So right now we have 2 cans of chicken breast shredded, and we have approximately 1 cup of hard Parmesan cheese that we grated up. Now this is gonna make my chicken crust. Okay, that is mixed up just enough. I'm not gonna get overly concerned. And we're gonna put this on the parchment paper, and we're gonna slowly start making a pizza crust out of it. It doesn't take long. All right, get this out on the pan, and hopefully not all over the place. There we go. All right, come on. I'm a guy that likes to get every little bit out. I don't know, you guys the same way? Because I just like to get every little bit out. And then I'll give the rest to my dog. Now, if this worked out just right, I just put it in the center and I start pressing it together. Okay? Then I'll start working my way around, and I'm trying to make about a 1/4 inch thick pizza crust all the way around. And if you take your hand like this and just push up to your hand, it helps get the process started. And if you're using the parchment paper, it makes it so much more fun because it just slides around. And you just keep working this process over and over and over again. And try to press that out evenly. And if it's a little thick and you got some high spots in the middle, don't worry about it. You can press it out. That's the fun part about this. So there's no flour, there's no sugar, there's no dough to really worry about. Everything is pliable and easy to work with. I mean, this is stuff that would be fun to do with your kids. You know, because kids love anything in the kitchen. They love working, you know, with their parents when it comes to cooking and doing new things. Okay, I got a high spot in the middle, so I'm just going to press it. And if it splits a little bit, don't worry about it because it's meat. You can heal it back up. But I want this pretty thin. The thinner you get it, the better. There's people that have made this pizza crust and they're like, oh, it's so gross. And I'm like, dude, you probably tried to make a super thick crust. You want it thin. You want it pretty thin. You don't want it too thin. Now, when we get down to where it should be, I'll kind of show you exactly how it is. But yeah, super easy, super fun. And when it cracks like that, it just heals up again with just a simple press, and you just work it just a little bit. Now I'm feeling around for any other high spots, and I'm trying to work those out, because if you get high spots, it's just going to make it weird and funky. But now the whole point is you have chicken breast in here. The egg yolk helps, you know, bind everything. The Parmesan cheese, once it heats and starts to melt down, it's really going to pull those chicken fibers together, and it's going to make it really, really close to bread-like. And I have a little bit of garlic powder in there. You can use some or don't use some. That's fine. I don't care. This is my diet, and I've been doing great. I mean, I've just been winning at life. I'm not going to worry about what other people think. You're like, oh no, you're using tomato sauce. Who cares? Who cares? Use some tomato sauce. Don't worry about the haters. You know, if you want to make a pizza with tomato sauce, this is just about perfect. I think I just about got this one wrapped up. But you want to try to keep the edges all the way around pretty solid. So that's where the hand comes in. You just put the hand there, press up to the hand, and just work it around. Because when you get ready to actually cut into the pizza here in a little bit, it's going to be a thing. I needed to preheat the oven to 400, and I forgot to do that part. I should have been doing that while I was doing this, but I wasn't thinking. So, okay, gloves are off. We're going to turn the oven on. We're going to want this hot. 425. We're going to hit start. Do I have anything in there? I don't today. I normally do. Toss these gloves out. Probably won't need them again. But you never know. I'm picking up my mess. I gave my dog stuff. Put it away. Put that away. So, this is exactly what I'm talking about here. So, this makes a pretty good size pizza. My hands are pretty large. So that's a pretty good size pizza crust right there. Now the thickness you want is just about that thick. Not very thick. So if I take my pinky, it's right around the size of my pinky. If you make it thicker, it's not going to be good. It's really not going to be good. That's pretty reliable right there. And oh my gosh, I'm going to kick your butt. She's getting into the cheese. I got to give this to the dog. This is the problem when you have cats. Cray Bear, I'm annoyed with you now. So meanwhile, while that's heating up, I'm going to trim a little bit more of this paper off because I have a lot of extra paper. So I'll just run around the edges. Get this trimmed up first. I like a little bit of paper, not a lot, just a little bit around the edge. That way I can move stuff around. And I'm pretty sure last time I did this, the pizza crust was a lot bigger than what this is. But that's okay. This is gonna work. So this is what I have. Throw that out. Let's get up. We're gonna move this over here. Get it over by the oven. Hopefully my cats will leave it alone. Put it down. I need cutting board. Where is my other cutting board? Why is that? Seriously, wife? All right, I'm gonna show you where my other cutting board is. So, I told you earlier, we are Alaskan Native family. We do stuff like with animals. I totally forgot she did this. She used one of my good cutting boards to try to dry out some furs. I don't know if this is rabbit. So we have a rabbit and we also have an ermine that she's working on. I'm not sure what project she's going to do with these furs. But she seriously tries to use all of the animal products that we get in the house from hunting and fishing. But that was the cutting board I was going to use. I kind of bought those like specifically because I don't like using these. They're ugly. But we're going to use that one. In the meantime, yeah, season to taste, absolutely. So that cheese is done. I do need to slice up some more cheese. I also need to work on keeping cats away from my stuff. Got a sharp knife. Got our pepperoni. We're going to get that started. Let's see, easiest way to open this. There is no easy way. So we're just going to struggle through, try to find a weak spot. Just cut that off. Okay, there's that part. Well, that comes off nicely. Wow. Yeah, okay. I spoke too soon. Came off nicely at first. Let's see if that helped. Maybe. Oh, there we go. Almost. Ooh, got it. Just like that. Let's see how this tastes. This is boar's head pepperoni. I'm pretty interested in seeing how this tastes. I need to find, I'll just pot it. I'll just dump it in here with the cheese. I don't care where it goes. But we're gonna slice that pepperoni slices really thin. This is gonna be one of the toppings on my pizza. I'm probably gonna have way too many, but that's okay. I like a real meaty pizza. Something else I forgot to do, I was thinking about doing it because we got some leftover breakfast sausage in there. I was going to get that pre-cooked and potentially use that as a topping as well. But this is nice and hard pepperoni. And it was way healthier looking, especially on the ingredient list when it came to everything that's inside the pepperoni. I mean, it's a super clean pepperoni. Okay. It's almost like a hard salami. Yeah, that's perfect. That is perfect. The amount of natural animal fats, the grease in there. Oh yeah. That already makes me feel good. There's probably an easier way of doing this, and you guys know it. I don't know. having fun, cutting up my meat. Not too worried about it. Some people like their pepperoni really, really thin. I don't worry about that. Do I have any cats that get in my stuff? No. I need to turn you guys so you guys can like warn me. You can be like, because there's the pizza crust right back there. Let's see. I seen you on Grinder. We matched. I'm not sure what that means. Hello, Holly. Let's see. It's Grinder. And he's happily married. Absolutely. Yeah, my wife is amazing. I mean, me and her, we both suffered a lot of trauma in our lives, and some of it was self-induced on both of our parts, but we just happened to meet at just the right time where everything just worked. You know, I'm considerably old compared to my wife. My wife is extremely young. I can't say she's like 20 years younger, but I think, you know, for me, all women, once they hit 29, that's where they stop. I just leave them there at 29. I don't. So I know she's at least 29, so she's forever 29 for the rest of her life. That's just how I see her. You know, when I look at her, she just looks amazing to me. Get this cut up. Probably give the dog a little taste of it. Man, this is good pepperoni, guys. Boar's Head pepperoni. Definitely check it out. Try it for yourself. You know, let me know what you think, but I really think it's amazing pepperoni. Okay, that's a lot of pepperoni we got cut up. This little piece is going to my dog. There you go, peppers. Okay. And take that and put it in with the Parmesan cheese. I'm probably going to use that later. Okay. Now I need to start grating up some cheese. Don't need the fork. There was a cat standing right there when I did that. That was kind of funny. That is some really good. That is some really good stuff. So I don't know if any of you guys have ever had like pepperoni pizza in New York City. You know, it makes those little tiny pepperoni grease cups. Just, they're like crunchy on the outside, they're nice and juicy on the inside, and they're full of grease. That is kind of what that tasted like. It kind of brought me right back to New York City, or East Coast style pizza. Good memories growing up, because those pizzas on the East Coast, I mean, the guys that were making those, they were serious into making pizza. They were also serious into feeding their families somewhat healthy foods. So they weren't adding in a lot of crap food in their pizzas. They were making it really, really good stuff for the family. I don't need that bowl yet, because if you've ever used one of these, it's so much easier if you just lay it flat on a surface like that than trying to do it vertically. And then you just run this across. You hold this with your hand right here, and you just run it across. You got control. It doesn't hurt your hand now. It's not miserable. I might have some harder like cheddar type cheese. I might shred up some of that if I still have some left, and just blend the cheeses together. But this is the easiest way to shred cheese. If you've never done it this way, try it this way. It's just like sit at the table and chill. There's no effort going in here. And then it just fills this up. That's it. And then you take it over to your bowl. Okay? You learned something from Grandpa today, okay? Grandpa's teaching you these easy little tricks. That's the things I like to share, is easy stuff. I think everybody should live life a whole lot easier and struggle a lot less, especially when you got old farts like me that already know you don't have to do it the hard way. You know, because that's a good sign. Okay, we're gonna go over here and get this going. Okay, da-da-da-da-da. Got the oven preheated, 425 degrees. We're gonna open you up. Now we're gonna put this in there for approximately 25 minutes. And the whole point of doing that is because we want it to dry out the pizza crust. So timer set. We're going to set you for 25 minutes. We're going to come back and check on it a little bit once in a while. Just let that thing run. Let it do its thing. All right, back over here. We got cheese, got cheese grater, got cheese bowl. We're getting everything else ready. Now, this isn't quite as much fun as just going to pick up a phone and call, but the nice part about making your own food is I know exactly, I don't know what that is. Go away. Okay, that's in the trash now. I don't know what that was. Oh, that was a piece of pepperoni. But the nice thing about making stuff all by yourself at home, making your own food, for one, it's the preparation time process. It's the thought process that helps you actually make conscious decisions on what you put into your body. This is also something that helps me maintain weight loss, and it also helps me maintain my overall health. So just by making my own food every night, it slows me down. I'm not shooting just for the easy stuff all the time. If I want something easy, I'll choose something like a Chomp's beef stick, a Think beef stick, some beef jerky, maybe cook some eggs. But still, even cooking eggs, you know, requires a little bit of effort. And that's where I think a lot of people in our country have gone wrong with their health, is they're just not focused on food. They're focused on the ease of food. You know, because I can go down the street like 2 blocks away, I can hit up a McDonald's, I can hit a coffee drive-through, I can go and just do all the easy for the rest of my life. And that's not helpful. That's not anything that helped me lose weight in the past. Anything at a convenience store has never provided me weight loss. There isn't anything I've found at a convenience store that's provided me much weight loss. So convenience stores, I just stay out of them. Truck stops in the lower 48 were a problem because they had this really super duper handy hot foods section. Most of that food was deep fried and incredibly unhealthy. Overly processed foods were stacked in there on little hot plates. And when you ran in, you'd grab your fuel receipt, sign for that, get your bonus points, whatever, in the truck stop. And then you would just, you know, like, I want 3 of these, 2 of those, and 5 of that. And you walk out with like $20 worth of crap food. And then you're driving down the road just about pooping your pants all the time because of the food you just bought was just garbage, and it just wants to work its way out the other end because your body is rejecting it. I never understood why I was pooping all the time, like all the time. It was almost uncontrollable. And it was because the foods I was eating were so unhealthy that my body was trying to say, just stop this, please. We don't want you to feel this way. You shouldn't have to, you know, spend half of your day in the toilet, is my point. All right, I think I have enough cheese sliced. I could probably put the rest of this in a Ziploc bag and put it away. But it's just so satisfying to just sit here and just shred your own cheese at times. So, all right, there's that. Ta-da. But yeah, that's, guys, seriously, just hold it like that. So much more fun. Doesn't hurt my hand. I mean, I did it for years with the wrong way, you know, holding it like this and then struggling to hold the handle like this and then grating the cheese. It's just a bad idea. It doesn't work. It just makes a mess on the table or on the cutting board. And you can do it inside a bowl, but then you'll end up smacking your knuckles on the side of the bowl. Yeah. Always search for the easier solution. So, okay, now that I messed up and put that in there, I kind of want to mix some of this Parmesan cheese in, and that's what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to put about a handful of that in there. Actually, I'd probably put just about the whole thing in there. Doesn't matter. I guess I could probably just put this whole thing in there and just mix it up. And the pepperoni, see, just like that. Well, that's simple. Now I got pepperonis in there. It doesn't matter. It's going on the pizza. We'll just mix that up. Whatever's left over, I'm not worried about. I want a lot of cheese on the pizza. That is a lot of cheese in there. Holy moly. Let's try that out. That mozzarella cheese was just mozzarella cheese. All right, hold on. That's Parmesan cheese in there too. Okay, there we go. All right, that's hitting me in the feelers right there. Good quality cheese. Don't use that waxy stuff. Man, that is so creamy and delicious. All right, good times, guys. Let's see. We're just waiting on the pizza crust back there. I'm going to pull you guys just a little bit closer so I can see what the heck is going on. Let's see. If you want more carnivore-friendly sauce, you can use an Alfredo white sauce, reducing heavy cream, Parmesan cheese, and cracked black pepper. Now remember, hard cheeses are lower in lactose. That is a great idea there, Holly. Definitely enough cheese. Yeah, I like a lot of cheese. I like a lot of cheese. But that wasn't the problem. The cheese amount was never the problem with my weight and my diet. I found out it was the biggest problem I was having was I was eating like entire pizzas. So when you take that into consideration, the toppings are next to nothing when it comes to eating that big giant dough ball. So like an extra large pizza, the dough ball is literally that big. And then when it cooks, you flatten it out and then it cooks, it puffs up a little bit, but you're still eating that much dough. So about a bowling ball, a small bowling ball size, candlepin bowling ball size, ball of dough. And I'd sometimes like eat 2 pizzas. So yeah, that's where the weight was coming from. It rarely had anything to do with what was on top of the pizza, because most of the time, even if it had vegetables, cheese, extra cheese, multiple meat options, that wasn't the problem. And I learned that quickly when I started doing like a ketogenic type diet in the beginning. I was buying pizzas, still buying pizzas, but the only difference was I was just scraping the toppings off and just eating the toppings all by themselves. And I found out that does the same thing to the brain as if you ate the entire slice of pizza. It was fascinating. I was like, wow, okay, I just took the pizza toppings off of a piece of pizza. I just scraped them off. I only ate the pizza toppings. And I felt like I ate that entire piece of pizza with the bread included. It was a totally mind-boggling thing. And I'm like, wow, let's do that again. So I had like 3 slices of pizza total without the bread. And I was like, man, I feel like I'm satiated and I actually had 3 slices of pizza. But since I was only eating the toppings and not the carbohydrates from the bread, I wasn't nearly as hungry. So the toppings were filling me up more. I noticed that signal right away. So when I was eating the bread was just creating a sugar signal, maybe a glucose spike of some sort. And it was just making me want to eat more and more bread, because that's kind of how we get when we get into bread, crackers, and snacks, chips. We get that response like, I want to eat the whole bag of potato chips. I just thought that was super fascinating. I mean, hopefully this stuff is helping people out, because, guys, I've been losing weight for almost 2 years, consistently losing weight. I go back and forth sometimes for 2 or 3 weeks, not a big deal, but I eat what I want, I eat when I want, and I just stay happy and love life. But the thing is the what I want and when I want is totally different than what it used to be. Because right now, since I'm losing weight, I'm only eating typically 1 meal a day during the work week, and that's the 5 days of the week. So if I'm focusing on weight loss, like if next week I wanted to focus on weight loss, I'd focus on some serious ketogenic type foods like sardines, eggs. If I wanted to do ketovore or just plain keto, dill pickles, super keto friendly type options. And I have a list of just different keto friendly options that help me lose weight. And I can eat as many as I want. So I can eat, 30 eggs in a couple days if I want to. And I'm not going to gain any weight from that, because it's all keto friendly based. It helps provide weight loss. It helps provide a lot of other nutrition and balances hormones and testosterones without pills or injections. It just works. And then the sardines, that's another level. So sometimes I eat just a whole bunch of eggs, and then I'll toss in some sardines too. Now, sardines are just the basic ketosis Kickstarter. I mean, it's like starting a 2-cycle engine. You kick that sucker over, and that thing is running and is ripping and ready to go. Sardines do exactly that for weight loss. So yeah, even with regular meals at times, I'll just eat some sardines. Might have a big steak. I just started getting into the chuck roll steaks. I kind of on the fence about those. They're super budget friendly. That's one thing I like about the chuck roll steaks. I also been putting them in the air fryer, and they turn out amazing in the air fryer. So something I was also wanting to do was potentially make like a beef stew. But I wanted to take the chuck roll steaks, run them through the air fryer once for about 17 minutes, give them that good salty crust, then cut them up and potentially put them in a slow cooker and then do like a beef stew. I think that would be amazing. Anybody disagree with that? Yeah. No way, that's legit chicken. Let's see. I'm curious now. What did he make the crust out of? Cauliflower. No, I made the chicken crust. It was out of 2 cans of canned chicken breast, the Kirkland brand kind, the Walmart brand. I didn't like the added ingredients in there. The Kirkland brand is a slightly cleaner. There's still some nonsense in there. The easiest way is just take chicken breast, cut it up, shred it. Then I added about a cup of Parmesan cheese, really hard Parmesan cheese in a block. You don't want to get the pre-shredded kind. If you can avoid it, avoid it. Just because when you buy block cheese, you're just missing out on all those extra cornstarch and anti-caking properties. That's the only reason I go that way. And it's just my own personal way of doing it. If I was in a pinch, like I needed to make this right away, yeah, I'd go buy the shredded stuff. I wouldn't sweat it. But if you're shredding your own cheese, you're saving your own life in that aspect, because you're just not adding in just ridiculous stuff that doesn't need to be there. Because sometimes they add cellulose, cornstarch, what else? Something else for some crazy other anti-caking properties that just keep the cheese, from turning into a ball. And that's the only reason they do it. Plus, when you slice cheese, it gives it a different flavor profile. It just makes it taste better, when you shred your own cheese. I don't know what it is. But also, back to the chicken crust. So yeah, 2 cans of well-drained chicken in a can. You just drain that out, put it in a bowl. I add 1 egg and about a cup of that hard Parmesan cheese. And then just mix that all together, then put it on your plate and fold it around. It works out good. Let's see, we got some bulk chicken from Costco, big man, just salt, water, and chicken. Pressure can, 70 minutes. Yeah, that sounds pretty good. Let's see, is the Parmesan cheese fresh or dried? Well, I don't know. It's gone now. It's in the bowl. It's all mixed in. But it was a solid block of Parmesan cheese that I got at Three Bears, Alaska. And it's pretty good stuff. I mean, it's mixed in here now. It's pretty good. Okay. Man, I want this pizza to hurry. Oh. Go check on it. Oh my God, did you hear that? Those cats. The cats are feral. All right. So the pizza crust has been in there. Let's see, I put it in there for 25 minutes. We got 12 minutes left. Okay, this is what it's cooking down to. Now, can you see around the edges here how it's kind of bubbling a little bit? It's just cooking that moisture out. So we're going to want this to cook down a lot more than what it is. It's going to look slightly brown when it's done. So we got at least another 10 minutes to go. We're going to let it do its thing, and we're not going to worry about it. Because as soon as that's done, then I can start the rest of the process of actually building the pizza and putting it back in the oven for another additional 17 minutes. Then it's done. Then I have pizza, and I didn't have to go to Papa John's. I didn't have to go to, order out pizza. I think the overall cost of this pizza is pretty close to whatever I would pay by going out and buying traditional trash pizza that made me feel good. That's one thing I liked about pizza. It always made me feel good. It was one of those comfort foods that I used to run to when I was sad, happy, depressed. Didn't matter. I was always happy to have pizza. So, yeah. Let's see. Nice. How's the weather in Alaska? Let's see. Right now, I have 2 phones now, guys. This is great because my wife got a new phone and I got one. I bought her the same phone. She didn't like the phone that I'm recording with right now because it didn't want to run the applications for Instacart and DoorDash well, so we got her another phone. Right now we're looking at 11 degrees. Nope, sorry, it just changed to 12 degrees. Looks like we're at a warming trend for the next week. So next Saturday it's going to start warming up to 25 degrees. We had a really unseasonably warm January where things was just melting. I mean, everything was just melting. We had no snow. And then last week got cold. We hit down cold. The coldest I saw was about -10. It was pretty miserable. We all kind of just hanging out outside working and hooking up generators and heaters and stuff, trying to start trucks that didn't want to start. So we spent a lot of time outside that we didn't want to spend outside. But it's just been such a warm winter. It's like we just kind of were laughing it off. We're like, whatever. I mean, if this is the worst of it, we're doing great. You know, -10 is way funner than -35 for 3 months straight. -35 is, you know, anything after -30 doesn't matter. It all feels the same. You know, it can go down to -40, -50. It still feels the same. It's just cold, and it hurts your face. It hurts everything. Yeah, let's see. Remember to like the video. That would be great. If you don't know how to like the stream, you just go up to the top, one side or the other. Camera orientation is weird. You just click those 3 dots. It'll take you to a little pop-down menu, and there will be an option to like or do whatever you want to do. And it does help us out a little bit here. But yeah, today we're making a carnivore crust pizza, and we're just waiting on the crust to be done so we can take that out and actually get started on building the pizza next. Okay, ultra fire. That's insanely cold. Can't even imagine. All right, so here's the thing. I lived in Missouri for 7 years. Missouri at 20 degrees to 10 degrees, right in there. That feels like -35. And I only knew that because I moved to Alaska for a while. I experienced a really cold snap up here at -35. And then right at the end of that summer season, because I do construction work, I flew back down. I was spending some time in Missouri. It got down to like 20 degrees, and it was colder there because the humidity level's different. So typically we have a drier cold. So this last cold snap actually felt a lot colder than -10 because we had, you know, a previous warm spell before that. So we had all that humidity on the ground, in the air, to burn off. So, and that's what the cold weather does. When it goes cold, it's just burning off all the cold moisture. So it's just that ambient temperature makes it feel like a -20 at the time, you know, up until it's actually burned off all the humidity. Then it's just gone. And then -10 doesn't feel nearly as bad at that point when it's dry. So yeah, it's kind of like Arizona, you know, compared to, you know, Joplin, Missouri type difference there. You got dry heat, you got humid heat. Same thing goes with cold. So yeah, the only time it's really, really miserable cow cold is when the humidity level's up and the wind's blowing. The wind, that's a problem. That's always been a problem here in Alaska, is the wind. Let's see. Hey, Meathead's in the room. Good to see you there, Meathead. I appreciate you dropping in. William McCartney, hi there. I've been seeing William dropping through quite a bit. And yeah, quite often actually. Let's go. Hitting some buttons. Let's see, hit that button there. There we go. I like people that come back all the time. You know, I see you from time to time. You know, sometimes we email, sometimes we private message. I met a new guy just recently. I think his name's Roger. He's from Florida. But he had a most unique story. I mean, he just let it all out there. As a story back from like 1980 something about his trip up the Alaskan highway trying to get to Tok, Alaska. And he had a problem. His car broke down. I mean, it was pretty detailed. I was like, holy cow. I mean, regardless of what you're trying to do on the carnivore diet or anything else, that story was amazing. I was like, man, that's a good story. I mean, I can totally relate to what he went through too, because the trip up the Alaskan is something that's like almost life-changing and almost spiritual. Yeah, I love you too. Bye. Whatever. Just go. See you later. But yeah, I've been dealing with feral cats lately. Let's see. I'm in northern Michigan, so I can relate to the cold. Yeah, buddy. Northern Michigan, you know, back in like North Dakota when they had the oil fields, all that fracking fired up, man, they were having some cold weather problems over there. That was a hard time. So when all that oil boom went on down there in the lower 48, there was just people from up here just taking off. They were heading down to North Dakota. They were going all over the lower 48 for that. And me and a bunch of other guys looked at each other and we're like, okay, if all these guys are going down there, why should we go down there? We got plenty to do up here because everybody's gone. And that was kind of how it went for a little while. So while everybody was down there chasing a paycheck, we were all up here just making bacon money because there was just nobody around to do the jobs. So we were up here handling a lot of the jobs, construction jobs, oil field jobs, stuff like that. We're just they were all over the place. So, and I did not see that that oil boom down there was going to last for an extremely long time or be anything profitable for any of us to do. The only thing that would have been profitable was setting up man camps and stuff like that. You know, the temporary man camps to help make the guys comfortable, because people were living in their pickup trucks. They were living in tents. They had just about every available opportunity for living space rented out. Companies were buying houses down there and just putting their guys in there. And yeah, it was bad. I mean, there's so many people that were down there just stuck. And some of them didn't have jobs. They didn't have a way to get home. It was pretty bad. Do you drink coffee in your carnivore diet? Yes, I got coffee right here. I only drink black coffee. A friend of mine got me some butter bites. I just still haven't grasped the idea of eating lots of butter on the diet. It doesn't make me feel great. So I really never got into it. I have experimented with it. I tried a butter bite in my coffee, and I was really hoping for something amazing. You know, like it was going to make me feel a different way or something like that. Because sometimes these new carnivore ideas work, and they do make you feel amazing. Like when I switched over to ribeye steaks after doing ground beef for many, many months getting started, because I was on a tight budget. I mean, there was a point in my carnivore diet experience where I was broke. I mean, we didn't have any money. I mean, that $25 on, you know, buying a big chub of beef was literally the last money we had. And that was all I was eating for that period of time. So it was a struggle. And then everything started improving. I was like, wow. So then I got a big job in Nome, Alaska. And that was around the time when I started switching over to ribeye steaks. That was a game changer. 30 days, straight 30 days of beef, bacon, butter, and eggs, focused mainly on beef, as far as the ribeye steaks. Some eggs and some reindeer sausage were added in there. But that was life-changing. I started feeling so much better. I was losing inches so fast. And the ribeye steak, I just figured it out. You know, while I was going through that, I was like, man, the ribeye steak, it just figures out all the math. You don't have to figure out macros. You don't have to figure out calories. You just eat a pound and a half of ribeye steak. It has all the right nutrition in there. And it starts healing the body almost instantly. So in that 30 days, I was still pretty rough around the edges. I wasn't physically feeling perfect or 100% at that point, but I could feel something dramatically changing in my body. Because when you're going from crazy morbidly obese, you know, we're talking 450 pounds, 435 was about where I started, you know, down to the 260 range in short time. I mean, your body's like, it's going through all these weird little adjustments and kinks and problems, you know, neck pain, joint pain, arthritis. Yeah, it was nuts, the transition that happened, you know, while I was in Nome doing that. Okay, we're down to about 2 minutes left. We're going to check out this to see if it's starting to brown. What I'm looking for is it to dry out. All right, it's starting to golden up a little bit. It's really not too bad. Now we want this as dry as we can get it without being like beef jerky. That's actually respectable. I mean, it's not too bad. We're just going to let it run for the last minute and a half. Then I'm going to take it out and see what I think of it. Okay. So let's see. Holly. Okay. Now, let me see here. I'm going to do a little experiment here because I want to make sure this mic is actually doing what it's supposed to be doing. So I'm just going to like set this over here. Let me know. I got to walk in the other room. And we're going to go in the pantry. And I'm just curious, can you hear me? I'm in my kids' room. Can you hear me just fine? Because I'm trying to make sure that this works. The audio level shouldn't have changed a whole lot. Now I'm almost back to the camera. So hopefully everything sounded just fine. I'm going to beat these kitties. Hey, newbie, you know better. That one's fine. You can get in that bowl. That's my problem, is I love these cats too much. Okay, very nice. Because yeah, I'm using this microphone in tandem with my current setup, and I get so stressed out about technology because it never wants to work for me. Computers, you know, when CapCut went down, I was losing my mind. I was like, man, that's my video editor. And I spent the last 2 years of my life working with that video editor, and they just kept building the editor to make it better and better and better and better. and I eventually purchased the Pro version, which I barely make enough money to pay for these upgrades on YouTube. I don't make a whole lot. So pretty much all of my money that I spend on YouTube goes right back into my video stuff, tripods, camera gear, microphones, lighting, just basic stuff. I'm not making any money here. This isn't how this works, at least for me. Other people, they're making like $700-800 a month, and pretty quickly. But yeah, I'm not to that point. I'm not to that point. Okay, gotta grab my oven mitts. We're gonna get this out and ready. Show you what this looks like. All right, this is a base. That smells great. That little bit of garlic was a winner. All right, that smells amazing. All right, this is on the parchment paper. I'm gonna see if I can flip this over. Okay, if I can get this parchment paper to pull off. There we go. That's perfect. Look at that. All right. Hey, you hush in there. So, okay, this is directly down on the pan now. I need to flip this around and shut that buzzer off. I apologize. We're making too much noise. We're going to shut the timer off for right now. I'm going to keep the oven on because we're going to use that. So this is about what you want it to look like. So the top, I just put it down on that edge on purpose because if there's any moisture on the top, I want it to start cooking off. But if I move this around, you can see how it creates a little grease. This will not stick to the pan. Oh my goodness, ouch. My finger. So that's exactly what we want it to look like. And I can start building the pizza from there. There's no reason to let it cool off anymore. Get you guys set up a little better. I'm gonna go grab that sauce and we're gonna try this out. All right, I wanted to use that. We're gonna use this cheese. I got way too much cheese there. That's the sauce I want to use. I also wanted to use these ham slices. So just regular ham slices, nothing special going on here. Not too worried about what's in it. I should pull one out and give it a little try. See if I even like it. So they're just these little ham medallions. Okay. Natural hickory smoke. That was the first thing I picked up on as soon as I put it in my mouth was the smoke. I was like, all right, that's good. I like that. So we're going to try this sauce. We don't need a lot of sauce. But this is a new sauce. I wanted to try it out. It smells pretty good. I don't know if it's going to work for this, but it's called Italy in the Bronx. It was just kind of a novelty type thing. It's got some pretty good ingredients, but I'm going to take a little taste of this to see if I like it first, because I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure about this. That almost tastes like I'm not going to use it. Okay. That doesn't give me the right flavor profile that I want on a pizza. I need to look at these ingredients a little bit closer to see what's going on. So, all right. See if I can get you guys up in a little bit better angle so you can hopefully see what I'm doing. It says olive vodka, delicious Italian blend, Italian plum tomatoes, heavy cream milk, olive oil, Parmesan cheese, pasteurized skim milk, cheese cultures, salt, enzymes, onions, garlic, sea salt, parsley, vodka, Parmesan, oregano, Reggiano. All right. Why does it taste like that? Red pepper. Okay, it tastes kind of like it looks. It tastes kind of like that color. I'm trying to think of... It tastes more like a fruit. I don't like it. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. Okay. We're not using that. We're going to go use something else. We're going to go back over to the Raoul sauce because I'm not ruining a pizza. We're going to use this. It's a little bit of tomato sauce. This will work just fine for what I want to do. And flip you guys down so you can see what the heck I'm doing. All right, always shake your tomato sauce because all the yummy stuff settles. And sometimes you get some stuff that settles up here on the top of the lid. You want to get that incorporated and mixed in. All right, hey, can one of you guys help me with this? Doesn't want to open. Holy moly, we got it. All right, now this stuff tastes good. I already know this stuff tastes good. Try a little bite first. All right, yeah, that right there is exactly what I was looking for, that flavor. Now I like my pizza a little sauced up extra, all the way out to the edges. I don't care if I have cheese falling off the edge, but this tomato piece, I want that in the middle. So I just want the sauce out to the edge, not the little vegetable parts. They can stay in the center. And when you sauce a pizza, you really don't need to soak it in the sauce, because this is meat based. It's not going to absorb the sauce like you would imagine. Not like a traditional crust type pizza. Again, I want to try to get this all the way out to the edge. Really not going to have a crust. Very delicious sauce. Ah! I made a mistake. I stuck my finger in there. Okay, there that is. Now we're going to take this and just go right in the center. And that cast iron is super hot. It's drying out the crust from the bottom. I want to try to get all these pepperonis out, scattered around on the pizza. This will all make sense once it comes out of the oven here in a little bit. More pepperoni, the better. This is going to have a lot of pepperoni on it. And since I mixed them all in with the cheese, it's making it a little bit harder to drag them all out of here. There we go. All right, this is good. I think I have a couple more cans of pepperoni hiding somewhere. But now, when you make a meat-based type pizza, one thing you do not have to worry about, like you had to worry about with traditional dough crust, is that this is not going, the amount of ingredients that go on top of your pizza will not affect anything to do with the dough on the bottom, because it's not dough, it's actually chicken. So you're not going to have any type of issues by just stacking all kinds of craziness on top. And I'm just trying to get all the pepperonis out of this bowl, because now I want to start putting some ham on top. And you can layer the cheese too if you want. You can use as much or as little cheese. Put some cheese on there. I'm going to grab some of these ham slices and get them put on. I don't know how many we're going to fit on there. Doesn't matter. I mean, this is a meat heavy pizza on purpose. Okay. So that's about enough. That's about enough ham. I'm fine with that. I can just snack on these. Yeah. That's delicious. And then we're going to put just a little bit. This is probably going to be a huge mess. I hope not. All right. So that's done. Something else I do want to do is find, I had all of my seasonings at one point. I'm going to put a little bit of Italian seasoning on there. What else we got in here? Whew. Dillweed? No. All right, I'm not sure. There's the oregano. All right, a little bit of Italian, a little bit of oregano. It's a pizza, guys. If you don't like this stuff, don't use it. All right. Because I want it to have that type of flavor. And if these are the worst ingredients that you could think of on this pizza, I have a surprise for you. What's inside that ham is probably far worse than putting a little bit of this green nonsense on top. And I have a cat trying to get in there. Is that about all I want to do? A little bit of garlic on top might help. I put some garlic in the crust already. We're just going to do a real light dash. Come on. There we go. Okay. That's probably more than a light dash. All right. So back in the oven with you. I want that to all. This is heavy when you're doing it with one hand. That is a heavy cast iron bit. Back in the oven. Somehow. What do you want? Stop it. You're like crazy little stepchildren today. Set the timer. We're going to set that for approximately 15 minutes for starters. It might go a little bit longer than that, but we're just going to do that to get it going. What do you want? Am I stuffing your spot? Okay, we'll move it. Need to get the cheese away from the oven. We can snack on these little bites here. These are good. All right. I got everything open now. Skadoosh. Wrong way. There we go. Ta-da. Maybe I can start picking some stuff up. Put my cheese grater away. I make a mess when I do this stuff. I'm like highly unorganized. All right, don't need that anymore. So after my live streams are done, I typically have about an hour of cleaning I have to do. You know, when I'm done everything. I can actually reuse this cutting board and just eat off of that. That'll work. I don't care. Okay, that's more stuff. I'm putting away more stuff. I'm trying to be organized. I'm not very organized. I'm really organized at work. It's kind of weird how my work life compares to what we're doing. You know, here on camera, it's just amazing the amount of work I can get done now. Yeah, these cats they've been something else today. I haven't been having a whole lot of fun with my cats today. Because even when I was in there building that last video, oh, they were driving me nuts. They were running across the keyboard. That would frick all my buttons. So far, they have not been able to like delete an entire project. That would have been a problem. I'd probably have a cat flying out the door. But yeah. Is the cat? No. Thank you. Thank you. I mean, could be, but no. Cat's not in the cheese. But thank you. I'm gonna pick that up. Cheese is over here. We're gonna put it up here for now. We're just gonna let it kind of hang out there. Guys, I love this thing. So I did a video on this thing was a pain in the butt. I also got banned off of Amazon for making reviews because I said something about the review that this came slightly damaged, and they banned me from allowing me to post reviews. And that was like after the video was already posted, and my video had nothing to do with being banned. But I love this thing. I mean, it's like an accordion thing, so it actually stretches out to whatever size sink you had. And then I had to figure out the measurement from here to here, because this can kind of touch if you buy most of those cheap Amazon dish drainers. So the distance from here to here was important because I have that high faucet. But I can put all my pots and pans up here, and my wife can put my cutting board, my favorite one, with a bunch of dead animal parts. I mean, I can set a crock pot up there. There's some serious weight up here. This is all my good pots and pans, my cast iron lid. And it's got all kinds of little places to put stuff. I mean, it's super functional. But seriously, I got banned for making reviews. I make the most honest reviews. But I didn't realize it's against Amazon's community guidelines to mention anything about the product arriving damaged. in your reviews. That'll get you banned. So if anybody else got banned too, that's why. So they don't want to hear about that. There's a lot of unethical things going on when it comes to Amazon reviews, because I've gotten all these gift card opportunities show up at my house. You know, want a $40 Amazon gift card, leave a 5-star review. Well, I was going to leave a 5-star review for that. I can't leave a 5-star review for that, even though it showed up damaged, because I already made a 5-star review for that. That was the problem. I made the 5-star review, and I mentioned that it was a little bit bent, and I had a hard time adjusting the, you know, because it's supposed to go in and out like this, just to make it match up with your sink. And I had to figure that out. I had to like re-engineer the product because of how it got a little bitty dent in there, but it was done on the manufacturing side. It wasn't on the shipping side of things. It was on the manufacturing side of things, because everything that was in the package was beautiful. The way it was packaged, it looked awesome. All right, enough of that. Anyways, cancel culture. Yeah, they like to cancel me all the time. I almost got my YouTube channel banned at one point because I was talking about, I was talking almost verbatim about what another channel was talking about when it came to the COVID thing, COVID nonsense. All I was doing was just talking about a video, and then yeah, they said I was oh, what was it called? Some stupid information crap. I was spreading misinformation. I was like, no, I was literally word for word talking about the video that just popped up, and it started out at 1 million views. It's like 2 million views now. But that was the video I was discussing, and they were saying because I was using those words, it was misinformation. But if they use those words, and they're sponsored, and they got all this stuff going on, that's where I had a hard time with YouTube at that point. I had to go through YouTube school. I got slapped on the wrist. I got told not to do that. I just ate my humble pie and said, fine, I'll play by your rules. That's not hard to do. I mean, it's pretty easy to meet the standards here. Yep, people are getting scammed, and their YouTube accounts are getting hacked all the time. So the easiest way to not do that, I share this with people that I care about, you know, other YouTubers that I care about. Some of them are personal friends. Some of them I've met just recently. That's one thing I ask them right away, because especially if their channel's doing great, I just run out and I tell them, I say, hey, I hope you're doing it this way, because if not, you're setting yourself up for disaster. And I can guarantee you this channel is set up in a way, or yeah, it's going to be impossible for somebody to just take off of the channel. And even if they do, whatever. I mean, I'm making like what, 140 bucks every 2 months. Okay, not a big deal. But yeah, that happens. I have had friends lose their entire YouTube channel that were making $2,000-$3,000 a month, you know, making YouTube videos. They lost their channel like that, went up in smoke. They didn't take it seriously. They didn't take any precautions, and yeah, boom, somebody figured out their account. That was it. That was the end of that one. I only endorse products that I either use or I believe in. I mean, that's the only real way I can do this. I mean, I have a lot of products that I like to use, coming from camera products, microphones, cell phones, tripods. I mean, just a lot of different stuff. And I tell people where I usually purchase these things from so they can get it for themselves. I want people to get stuff without having to spend a lot of money. I mean, because life doesn't require us to go out and buy stuff. We are the ones that require ourselves to go out and buy stuff. I mean, I don't need a fancy coffee cup every week. You know, this coffee cup's been in this house, been in these videos, pretty much since I started, or whenever we got this coffee cup as a gift. I love this thing. It's one of my favorite coffee cups. You might see me in a thumbnail holding it up like this. You know, that way, I don't know. I just do stuff. Weird. This guy had Homestead channel, thousands of hours of videos gone. That, whew, that would be heartbreaking. That's almost as heartbreaking as my wife's Facebook page getting taken down multiple times, because she was monetized. She was doing great with Facebook Reels and getting paid. She was getting paid about the same amount that I'm getting paid now, but she was getting paid for making Facebook Reels, which are 1 minute and 30 seconds. And she's really, really good at the short form because she can just get everything in there and just, she does everything. I like them. I wish she'd do more. Focus on those. Stop focusing on long form. Focus on those little short stories because they're super fast. They're digestible. People love them. I'm not very good at the short form videos. I've been working on them lately, mainly with my carnivore meals. You'll see a whole bunch of me pulling steaks out of the air fryer, talking a little bit about what nonsense I might have had go on during the day or what I got going on with the meal, how I might have cooked it, type stuff. But I'm really not very good with the shorts. But YouTube has provided me with some features that make it a lot easier for me to create them now. I would like them to tweak it a little bit more because there's a couple options in there that I wasn't able to figure out the other day, and it kind of botched up one of my shorts, but I still just let it run anyways. Like, whatever. Let's see, Asaj Shock, is that Sock or Sake? Hi, any foreign friend for me in this chat? Never know. I'm foreign. You're not from here, so we're both foreign. Let's see, I like your content. I appreciate you, Nirvana. I like that, Nirvana. I grew up with that band. Nirvana was a fun one. I quit Facebook a while ago. They suck. The Facebook is a hard one. It's a hard one because, for one, I am really good at stirring up the room in a Facebook chat. I can stir up a room. I can create thousands of comments on anybody's thread just by tossing in something controversial. I've even been asked to go to other people's channels and Facebook pages deliberately to do what I do best, which is create controversy and conversation through text, because there is no infliction when you're creating a text form comment like you guys are doing there. There's really no infliction there unless you add the emoji afterwards. That creates the infliction. And then, but yeah, I could totally go in a room and just be like, somebody's talking about a vegan-based diet, and I can just like poke at little bears the whole way. And then all of a sudden this argument starts. And that is specifically what triggers certain parts of the algorithm with Facebook. So people love that aspect, the argument. They just let that thread run. As long as people are being somewhat cordial and not being racist or just wrong demeanor, they don't care. Because I've always wanted a great Facebook argument going on when I was doing chats and stuff, because it just pushes it out there to other people that might not see it. If your page is public and everybody can see it, it'll get pushed out to people, and then more people can see it and comment on it. Let's see, what would be considered trolling when making controversial comments? Well, that really depends on the person that created the post in the first place. So if they're metabolically broken, they're super sensitive, anything could be considered trolling. I mean, you can take somebody's comment, even if it's a polite comment, and that person can take it and twist it in a way in their brain, because I was that guy. When I was metabolically broken, 435 pounds, I was super sensitive to what anybody said. If somebody said, pointed out the obvious, like, hey, you're balding, you might want to try this, I would take offense to that. I would consider that trolling at that point. So you see, it's the person's mental state that really creates the trolling atmosphere in their brain. So that could create problems for the person, because people poke at me all the time. I get made fun of on YouTube. I get made fun of in my videos, especially my past videos. Because when I started doing my weight loss journey, I was talking about all this stuff, not the carnivore diet, but I was talking about how I was losing weight and how I was, getting to, point A to point B, throughout a week-long stretch. And people were making fun of me because I was a fat guy talking about health on the internet. And my rebuttal to them every single time was simply, hey, you got to start somewhere. And if I'm not posting about it and don't have a video log going way back to the beginning, nobody's going to believe me. They're not going to believe what I'm doing is real. I feel like that pizza should be close to done. Let me check that out. Oh, no, that's not done yet. It's probably going to need another 5 minutes after that. So we're going to let that timer pop off. I'll take you over there. We'll cruise through the oven, check it out. I'm hungry. I want pizza. I want like Wreck-It Ralph type pizza. That's something me and my wife used to call it. When we first got together, we call it Wreck-It Night. We'd go out and order like 3 or 4 different types of whatever type pizza. And we'd just sit around and get fat. And we did that for a while. And I must have done it too much because I got really fat. Uncomfortably fat. Do you, sir? And just don't pay attention to people? People will always talk. Yeah, people do talk. I don't worry about them. Now, the one thing I do love my haters, because haters are an audience all on their own. There's a lot of people out there that don't believe that I've been losing weight with no exercise. They don't believe that I've been losing weight by eating food. They don't believe that I've been losing dramatic amounts of weight by eating keto-friendly foods, because the weight losses are just like, wow, that's like, sometimes 13 and a half pounds. When I started my weight loss journey, I lost 30 pounds in the very first week. But the majority of that was water weight. That's how I got everything started. But since I lost such a dramatic amount, that is what kickstarted my brain into like, oh, there's got to be more to this. And that was with fasting. Obviously you're going to lose weight when you stop eating food for 5 days. But I started doing different types of fasting. And then after a while, I hit a wall because my doctor said, he's looking at my results, which were improving. Everything was improving. As far as blood work, bodily function, mobility, everything was starting to improve. I still had a long way to go. I'll continue with that in just a second. We're going to go over here and we're going to slowly check out this pizza and probably put it back in the oven for an additional 5 minutes. And I'll pick that up too. These little shoes don't want to stay on my feet. I wanted regular flip-flops because I got funny shaped feet. All right, let's see what we got. That is not quite there yet. Okay, nope. I want that top to brown a little bit more. Da-da-da-da-da. We're going to set that timer for an additional 5 minutes. Start that. Why do you do that? Stop that. I'm going to turn that off. Turn that on. Try that again. There we go. Weird. Anybody else's oven do that? You set it for a time and then it wants to add a minute. It's like, I didn't ask you to add a minute. I asked you just to simply, what the hell? I don't know. I don't get it. Oh, what's going on here? Haters are entertaining at times. Now, sometimes they get a little dramatic, but I mean, the ones I've been getting lately have just been hilarious. They're like, because they're commenting on really old videos. So they're not even looking at the channel. They're not looking at where I'm at now. But, when I provide them a video link to, let's say, something like today, you can just see the difference in my face from then until now. It's just dramatic because, seriously, my head was twice this size. If you don't believe me, check out the channel. Look at some of my very earliest videos in losing weight in Alaska. They'll blow your mind. You're like, whoa, this guy has come a considerable long way. And again, little to no exercise. There's no reason to run to the gym. There's no reason to run unless you have to. If I'm scared of something, I'm physically capable of running just fine now. But I wasn't physically capable of running, or should I have been running when I was 400 pounds. I don't think anybody that's that far overweight should be pushing themselves, beyond reasonable limits. I didn't feel like I should be exercising until I got under 300 pounds. And then I started gently. I started maybe with a little bit of mountain biking, a little bit of weightlifting once in a while, not on a frequency of any kind. I did have a gym. I still have a gym that I can access. I just can't access it on the weekends. I can't access it any other time except for normal working hours. So I can't go to the gym. It's like, so what's the point of even having the gym there if nobody can use it unless they have to be unemployed or just retired? It's like, wow. So basically that gym just gets used for, hospital employees. It's kind of sad situation how that's all set up. I've talked to them about it. I said, this doesn't work for the majority of people that wanted to use that gym, because our work lives just clash with that. Let's see, John, I gotta see that. Okay, John, if I may ask, what are you weighing in at now? I'm approximately, my last video, I was 262.8. I'm going right back through the Rolodex that I got going on in my brain here. So I gained about 1.5 pounds on that one this week, but I did my weigh on Friday. Today, I'm not sure. You guys want to go check it out? We can go check it out. I got a shirt on. That's going to make me weigh about, so these shirts weigh approximately 1 pound. So whatever the scale's going to say, It's going to be a pound off. All right, boom, boom, boom. Computer desk. This is where I work. That video. Which one's that? Let's check that out first. Oh, that's the octopus one. I did a taste test of octopus. That's my most recent video right there. Let's go check out content page. So this one here, let's see. That was my most recent video there. I did a taste test of octopus. I mean, it's spicy sriracha octopus. That should be a good one. Back to the scale. So this is my scale. Literally, I come out here in the mornings and I get this set up so the platform just sits here out of the way so it's not constantly being kicked around. And I sit it on the floor. Then I get it set up. Now we always have to do this, which is I just hit the tare button just to make sure this stays at 0, because sometimes it'll throw some weird number on there. If I step on it, it'll say like I weigh 234, and that's baloney. Well, that is where I'm at now. Still under 270 pounds. All right, 266. That's not bad. I ate a lot of food last night. I ate a lot of chuck roll. I did do some snacking yesterday. Let's see, I had a dill pickle yesterday, so 266. I'm not going to argue with any of that because, yeah, under 270 pounds. I've managed to stay under 270 pounds. That's great. That was almost as great as just getting under 300 pounds and staying there. That made me feel fantastic. All right, let's check on this pizza. It's about ready to pop off the timer again. We should be getting close. Oh yeah, that is what okay. Okay, you're coming out. That's perfect. This is hard. I'm putting an oven mitt on with one hand. All right, I gotta set you guys down. I apologize. I'm a bad YouTube dad. All right. Wah! Okay, that looks good. That's exactly what I wanted right there. Okay, you see that golden color on top? Perfect. That is perfect. We're just gonna let that chill out there for a little bit because it's gonna take a while for it to calm down because it's blazing hot. It's sitting on cast iron. But isn't that gorgeous? A meat-based pizza covered in pepperoni, mozzarella cheese, Parmesan cheese, chicken crust. And it's gonna blow your mind when this all comes together here in a little bit. Okay. Unfortunately, it's like too hot to touch for a while. Oh. So what I'm gonna do here in a little bit, I'm gonna dirty something else because I don't think it'll fit on this cutting board here. If it will, I'll use this cutting board and then I'll just cut up the pizza on this white cutting board here. Oh, I lost a, let's see. Hey, Booby Goats, nice to see you there. I've got that pizza stone. Oh, it's a good one, that cast iron. Yeah, it's awesome. I love it. I see your stuff on the internet once in a while. Let's see, yum. Are you still doing the sardines? Sardines work. Booby Goats lost a lot of weight too. Let's see, just bought my deep dish for my smoker. I don't know what that means, meathead. You got a deep dish for your smoker. What is that? Oh. Oh, I got a member in the room, Sandy. Hey, appreciate it. Yeah, I believe you guys got that from Michael, the Carnivore Cure, Michael. They hang out in that group. So there's Todd, there's Lindy, and then there's Michael in that group. Michael came over to the channel one day and he bought like 5 memberships and they just get randomly dispersed. So that's what happens. I went to his channel too, and I bought somebody else a membership, and they just get random memberships to anybody that's subscribed to the channel. And it's just fun at times. You could just go to somebody's channel and purchase a membership for somebody else. Typically, memberships don't do a whole lot. I mean, unless, you know, my memberships now, the people can actually watch my videos way before they're officially out because I'm scheduling videos like 2-3 weeks out now. That way I don't have to just constantly, you know, slave over every weekend. I have to stress about making a video and doing an update, and it can become a royal pain in the butt. When Diddy got locked up, talking about Diddy again. Why do we talk about Diddy here? I lost my baby oil membership because of him now. My right dry as hell. Oh my goodness. Alexa, what is wrong? All right, on. You're sending those pics now. I've been curious to see those pictures you were talking about. Yeah, I don't understand that either. Thank you. That's funny. Oh my goodness. So yeah, I got 2 phones now. So if an email comes through, I can actually get the email. I can also look at stuff that I couldn't look at before because I was using the phone. The only problem I might have with this stream is that battery life. Okay, we're looking good on battery life there. So if my mic dies, just say your mic died. I can disconnect it, and it'll reconnect to the phone microphone. Magnesium and coconut oil. Okay, huh? Wow, that was a comment. I just got a comment on a really old video. One I was talking about constipation while doing the carnivore diet. That's a topic we can discuss here for a minute while the pizza's cooling off. But yeah, so when you're transitioning into the carnivore diet, and I had a lot of problems transitioning into the carnivore diet, and pooping was one of the things that was on my radar because some vegan troll got a. This is the problem with some people in the vegan community is they see a new person that's struggling with life, trying to get their health back, and do something like the carnivore diet. They'll all just come like picking at you like little ravens. You know, like you're half dead and they're trying to pick your eyeballs out while you're still have a beating heart. And that was kind of what I was going through there at the very beginning of my carnivore journey because I was doing it on YouTube. I was inexperienced YouTube. I didn't know how to read between the lines or figure out where these people were coming from. But I had a lot of vegan trolls attacking at me in weird ways. And they were trying to be helpful. They were trying to be helpful because of their morals and opinions on animal products. They want more people not to eat animal products. I understand. But what they were doing was messing with my brain because they were talking about, having to go to the doctor and have poop removed out of their bunghole because it was just compacted meat. Well, I was having problems with the constipation side of things because I was still mixing in the wrong foods with the meats. I was buying the meats the wrong way. So I was buying like lean ground beef, like 95%. And that was the wrong thing to do. I needed to increase my fat content. And as soon as I figured that part out, things started moving smoother. And since then, everything's been working like clockwork. I haven't experienced constipation in almost a year. And I still eat, pizza sometimes. Carnivore crust pizza. I've still had traditional pizza. Haven't had any issues with bowel movements after that. None of them have created an issue. The only time I have issues with my stools is if I start getting involved in too many vegetables or too many fruits. Fruits can create a holy heck problem on the carnivore diet. That's been a problem for me because I'm a binge eater. That is my number one reason for doing the carnivore diet is because I cannot overeat meats and fats. It's impossible. I have tried it. I mean, I can eat up to 6,000 calories of meats and fats, but I still can't overeat. I still don't gain excessive amounts of weight, even when eating 6,000 calories for an extended period of time. It doesn't happen because it requires more calories to burn and digest those calories, than I can put in my body. So my average meal at the end of every day, it's usually ribeye steaks, a couple eggs, maybe 3-4 eggs, a couple reindeer sausage. That right there is over 2,500 calories. That's one meal per day. And then I might have some snacks when I get home type stuff. So I could potentially be consuming anywhere from 3,000 to 4,000 calories a day. And I'm still losing weight, because the majority of my foods require more calories than the calories that are provided just to digest it. That's how it all works. I mean, that's why the carnivore diet does work. You're a carboholic? Yeah, well, a lot of us are carboholics. I can honestly say, yeah, I'm addicted to carbohydrates. I don't mind saying that. It's way funner saying I'm addicted to carbs and sugar than it is saying I'm an alcoholic or a drug addict. I mean, hands down, that's an accomplishment right there. That makes you feel a whole lot better, not being addicted to drugs or, something else. So food, okay, we can handle food. I'm still addicted to nicotine products. I mean, it's just fact of life. they did something. It made me disconnect. Let's see. Abstaining is good. Movie goats. I agree. Yeah, abstaining from things is a good idea. I need to get over to this pizza because my live stream's getting close to 2 hours, and when I get close to 2 hours, things start to do strange things. So we're going to try to get this pizza on that cutting board, allow it some time to cool down, and then we'll just go from there. And I can get it cut up if I'm lucky. If I am lucky. All right. Again, I am not a culinary anything. I'm just a fat man that figured out how to lose weight, and I've been doing it by eating a lot of fatty meats. Is this gonna move? Yep. Look at that. Here it goes. Ah, I'm gonna get it. First try. Oh, that is so great. You see what I did there? It was almost like I knew what I was doing. And I do have I thought I had I don't know where it went. This is a problem. Okay. I don't use this very much anymore because I don't do pizza all the time. So, all right, let's see if I can make this work. We're gonna head over to the table. Whoa! Oh, check that out. Isn't that beautiful? Yes. Whoa! All right, I need to get a plate. It's like I've never done this before. All right, got a plate. Whoa! I'm having a hard time all of a sudden. Normally I don't have this hard of a time. But okay. Carnivore Crust pizza right there, made with chicken and everything. A little bit of tomato sauce, not necessarily carnivore, don't care. And that's why, I think that's why a lot of these carnivore communities don't really like talking to me much, because they know, I mean, I'm well known. They know that I'm doing a 90-10 eating principle. And I don't care if there's a little bit of vegetables, or once in a while I might go off the deep end and have some carbs. I've never once promoted myself to be 100%. And you know, there's a name, there's a category for everything. I just prefer to stick with 90-10. And I use the name carnivore a lot because that's a lot of what I do is the carnivore diet. Who is that? Oh, this is fun. Yeah, now, okay, Robert says hello. Let's see, just post what's interesting to you. What are your same journey? Love finding rabbit holes on YouTube. Very nice. Okay, this is a personal email. I'm not going to read that aloud. But that's that new guy, Robert. He's in Florida somewhere. Let's see if we can get this cut up a little bit so I can show you. Oh, this feels so good. This is super stacked with meat. Come on. Disadvantage to having a small pizza slicer. Okay, we're getting there. We're gonna do big slices today. All right, almost. Let's see how well I did. Is that gonna come out? I think that's gonna come out. Okay, check this out. Here we go. Carnivore Crust pizza. Oh, there's a pizza pole. There's cheese pole. There's cheese pole. I'm excited. Okay. Look at that. Okay. Delicious. Okay, this is gonna hit the spot. See how hot this is. If it's too hot to touch, I'll have to set it down. You see, it all holds together if it's done right. And then it'll taste absolutely delicious. This thing is fiery hot. My fingers are burning. I shouldn't be holding this. I'm doing this for you guys, okay? I'm doing this for science. Carnivore science. This diet, I keep hearing it all the time. This diet has not been studied enough. There's been so many studies done on the carnivore diet that go back over hundreds of years. It's just people don't want to accept them as a study because they haven't been peer reviewed, because everybody agrees that it works. So what's the point of doing a peer review on a diet that people have been doing for hundreds of years that works? Yeah. Okay. That's amazing. Boar's head pepperoni, guys. So good. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that pepperoni tastes amazing. And I'm usually not a fan of when the pepperoni is hiding under the cheese or under the ham. Super meaty, super healthy. What a great option. This is fun. Now my cats are going to come dive on me. Carnivore pizza, 2 cans. Yep. 1 cup shredded fresh parm, 1 egg, Raiola sauce, 1/4 cup mozzarella, reindeer pepperoni. Actually, it's not reindeer pepperoni. It's just it's boar's head pepperoni. It's just regular pepperoni, and that pepperoni tastes like pepperoni I would get on the East Coast. I mean, because people on the East Coast, the old Italians and the Greeks. So you got two basic people demographics that make just boss pizza on the East Coast. You got the Italians and you got the Greeks. They have been in competition with each other since they started making pizza in the United States. I mean, and their type of competition is so dramatic that sometimes families will fight in the street about who's got the best pizza. They will fight over ingredients. They'll fight over where people get their ingredients. But the funny thing is when one pizza place runs down on products. Because I used to work as a guy a kid that used to make pizzas for a Greek. So when our neighboring competition just down the road, the Italians, would run out of cheese or run out of pizza dough, we'd go to our fridge and we would supply them with what they needed to keep the doors open and vice versa. But they would still fight in the streets, fist fights. What happened about pizza ingredients and products and where you buy certain things? Now, the boss I had at the Greek place, he was driving from Concord, New Hampshire, all the way to upstate New York just to purchase his cheese because the cheese was so specific to his recipe. I mean, and then the Italian guys, they would drive clear down to like Fall River, Massachusetts to get something down there. And then they'd drive, somewhere in Rhode Island or to New York to also get additional ingredients for their pizza. I mean, it was a big deal. Pizza. Yeah, amazing. People would fight over pizza. Amazing. But yeah, see how that holds together? I mean, it's just like bread. And I still say that people that didn't like this the first time they made it, they just made the crust too thick. The crust has got to be just right. Because if the crust is too thick, it does have a weird chickeny flavor. But I also added a little bit of garlic powder into the crust, so that's going to kind of delete the whole, chickeny type flavor. I got a pizza here, and I'm digging off the other one. That's how addicted I am to pizza. I am a glutton for pizza. So if this is like traditional Papa John's pizza, I could eat the whole thing. Hands down, no problem. But since this is made out of all meats, I can only eat 2 slices, and that's it. I'm full. I can't eat any more than that. I've been thinking about making cloud bread. Does the pizza have olives on it? No, it does not have olives on it. And the reason I don't put olives on my pizza is because it doesn't take more than a couple of olives to juice the calorie levels up. Or it's not the right kind of calories that I want to eat. So if I'm going to put in excessive calories when eating pizza, I'm going to put in the calories with maybe some pepperoni and some ham and some cheese. The pepperoni and ham are already considered overly processed foods because of the process of making them, makes them overly processed. Plus, there's extra added ingredients added in there for preservatives. So not 100% perfect. But if I'm going to have extra calories, I want the calories to come from the meat and the cheese. I don't want to throw in the vegetable calories, from olives, because olives really don't do a lot for you. There are some health benefits to specific olives, but you have to get really specific olives. You can't just get run-of-the-mill black olives and toss them on your pizza and call them a health food. That's not how it works. That was a super meaty bite. Then again, the whole thing is meat. Oh, man. So the crust itself, I mean, it looks like bread. I mean, it really does. Looks like bread. And like I said, that little bit of sauce, it doesn't like really soak in because it's not traditional bread. It's just chicken. Man, I'm so glad I made this and I didn't go the other route. I was getting ready to. Oh, I need to talk about something embarrassing while I still have enough people here to listen. So I did a thing yesterday when I bought all this stuff. I was out rescuing my son. I had to bring him some medication because he had like pink eye or something going on and he was at a school function. They wanted to put anything in there. But since I was out of town, I was up closer to Birchwood. I was like, yeah, I'm just going to run up to Three Bears. I'm going to check out the meat prices. So I got in there and I'm just using my cell phone. I'm recording everything. I'm talking. I'm doing all these things for the first half. And I didn't realize that I accidentally pressed the button wrong on the camera. So when I was walking around, so I'm just holding my phone like this or sometimes facing down, I had like a wonderful view of my crotch walking around because I was just filming, me walking around in between, finding an item on the shelf. And then when I picked up a product like this here, for instance, I hit the button. I wasn't paying attention. And so I'm just sitting here recording, the product I'm talking about. Like, oh, cool. Hey, this is a plant-based, gluten-free sriracha sauce. This is kind of what I do when I walk around the stores anyways. And then I flip the product around. I talk a little bit about the nutrition facts. It's only like 5 calories per serving, stuff like that. And then I go over the ingredient list, water, jalapenos, red peppers, and I do, lengthy talking points about this one product, why I'm picking it up and stuff like that. But I wasn't recording for like the entire meat department. And the meat department there was fascinating because they have so many different meat options at Three Bears, and some prices are good. So like the bulk ribeye was some crazy price. Like the bulk ribeye I buy at Costco for the choice or the USDA inspected was about $19, and at this Three Bears it was about $19 a pound. That's way higher than what Costco sells theirs at, which is $12.99 a pound. And then I went a little bit further down and I found individual cut ribeyes at $12.99 a pound. I'm like, that math don't add up in my head, because so if I bought that one bulk ribeye, that I have to spend more per steak. That makes no sense, because it's $19 per pound, and then this other one here is at $12.99 a pound. It was just fascinating the backwards math I was finding in the meat department, but it was all really awesome quality meats. They had so many different cuts that you won't find at Costco. So yeah, if you're out in the Birchwood area, have a Three Bears, definitely check out their meat department. They have some good stuff. I did get mail. I don't know who from. Was that? It must have been from you. Yeah, these are filling. I mean, I'm not even through that one yet. Let's see. Oh, there it is. Ooh, huh. That's pretty good looking. Ribeye, New York strip, 6 eggs. That looks good. What is that? Friends and wife's dinner. I did sneak some pork belly in the. Oh, that looks. I can't tell what that is. If that's meatballs or what that is. That next plate doesn't look bad either. It's got a little bit of, looks like maybe carrots in there. Huh. That's a pretty nice looking spread there. I mean, I don't really see anything meathead on that table that looks like it's going to be poisonous. Those are some good looking plates. Even the vegetable plate is not that bad. That's some pretty good looking stuff there. Thank you for sending me those photos. That is awesome. That is absolutely awesome. Chinese reunion dinner. Okay, that makes sense now. Now I understand exactly what was going on there, because I was a little confused at first. I was like, that didn't make sense. I got pork belly in there. Now my only problem with that is that that griddle I used to use, it died. So now I don't have a way to really cook it unless I cook it up in my cast iron skillet, and that's messy. So yeah, I've been waiting. I've been looking and shopping for a 3-in-1 skillet. Can't find them anymore on Amazon. Can't find them in the stores anymore. So basically it's a skillet. It's got the heating element, and you can put like 3 different type of things on top of it. Like one's just a flat griddle. You can remove that, and then you can put like almost like a casserole type metal plate on there. It's got a lid, and then there's another attachment that can go on there too. And then I can't find another one. I can get the flat griddle part, but I can't find what I want. That's annoying. Whenever you find something that you want and you hold on to for a long time and it eventually dies, then they stop making it. That just seems to be my luck. Like even with toasters or microwave ovens, they'll just stop making it. Yep. Good idea. So baking in that particular air fryer makes a mess in there. It does. It makes a mess in there. It's one of the design flaws. And Ninja has yet to respond to me about it. I've sent him messages about the problem. I'm like, hey, it doesn't say anywhere on your product about what's going on here. And it's not so bad that I want to return the product. I love this air fryer behind me. That thing just doesn't take up a lot of space. It works really good. It makes steak exactly how I want it. That's what I bought it for. But when I'm cooking, even like a ribeye steak, I get a puddle of grease in the very back side of it. And I didn't notice that right away until I was doing a video. And then I was like, wow, there's a puddle in there. So I tried cooking bacon several different ways in there, and it was just making a holy mess in the backside. And I don't want to ruin the machine by getting too much of that bacon fat maybe down in the internals. Is the only reason I don't do much pork in there. Man. Boar's head pepperoni. So good. So the pepperoni bites are the best part of this right here. The texture, the thickness I cut them, the way they cooked. It's just, man, it hits the old East Coast. I'm eating pizza, dollar pizza off the street, because they used to sell pizza by the slice. So they'd cook up a sliced pizza and it'd be sitting up usually on top of the oven. And that would be where you'd buy, slices of pizza, usually for $1. Back in those days, it was $1, $1.50 at times. I think before I left the East Coast, it was getting up closer to $2 a slice. But it was good quality pizza. And it was also the best way to, if you're just cruising around, you can just grab a slice of pizza for a snack. If you're a foodie, it was the easiest way to sample somebody's pizza without having to purchase the whole pizza for yourself, because sometimes you don't like the pizza. Not all pizza on the East Coast was created equal, but it was a nice way to try, especially good quality pizza from those little tiny hole in the walls that are just less advertised. Sometimes those are the best ones there, just like the mom and pop greasy spoons, on the back road of like Route 60. Yeah, those are usually pretty good too. All right, guys, I'm going to have to cut this short here. Yeah, we're over 2 hours. I try to keep my live streams at 2 hours or just under 2 hours. All right. Finish this bite. So this will be uploaded to YouTube in like the next hour or so. It takes a while for them to process, especially a 2-hour video. That's why I try to keep them cut right about 2 hours. But hey guys, yes, I do carnivore mainly for the diet. I do a 90-10 eating principle, and I try to explain my journey as I go. I do these random live streams to help show people what I'm eating to lose weight, sometimes maintain weight loss, or sometimes I'm just randomly doing a live stream just to be doing a live stream, because why not? I mean, it's YouTube. I can be somewhat entertaining, but I try to focus on healthy topics, carnivore topics, things like that. So if that's anything you're interested in, please subscribe to the channel. I lose weight with little to no exercise, and I just simply share my experiences as I go. Sometimes I run into slight problems. The community comes and we talk about it, and then I'll make a video about, my solution, how it went, just like this week's video. And I just try to be helpful as much as possible. I'm an old guy. I got a lot of history behind me of figuring out how to do things the easy way, because if you want to learn how to do something the easiest way on any job site, you find the fattest guy there. I used to be that guy. I knew how to do everything the easiest way possible because I was fat and I needed to do it the easiest way possible, or else I got injured and I wasn't working. So in losing weight, I used that same principle that I used when I was fat, and it works. So the fat man figured out the easy way to lose weight. Now the fat man is just out here just trying to tell people, hey, you don't have to struggle anymore. I got your back. I try to help everybody I can, within reason, of course. I can only do so much through these videos and emails and messages. But most of the time, people don't want to listen anyways. They're just like, they hear me and they're like, oh, you can't do that. I'm like, well, I've been doing it for 2 years. So tell me what I can't do and I'll show you how. And I'll continue to keep showing you how, because that's what I'm here to do, is hopefully help people. I just want everybody to love their life, be happy. I don't care if you're doing a carnivore diet. I don't care if you're doing a vegan-based diet. I don't care what you're doing. Just please avoid overly processed foods, the seed oils, all the nonsense. If you're taking Ozempic, please do some better research, because that stuff, it can be potentially deadly and dangerous for some people. But yeah, it's been a problem. I mean, the problems with Ozempic is getting deeper and deeper the further along. And that was something we were really concerned with, when all that started. I mean, it was meant for diabetics. It's not meant for weight loss. So there's ways of losing weight without taking shots. All right, guys, thank you. I'm going to fumble through these buttons and I'm going to get out of here. I hope everybody has a wonderful day. And yeah, guys, there's some videos in the works. They're pre-uploaded. Some of them are going to come out at random times throughout the week, but on average, I've been scheduling those times for about 11:45 a.m. Alaska time. That's when most of you guys are already online. I don't know if you're on your lunch break or what part of the country you're from, but it just says when the majority of people are watching. And I'm just trying to focus on that for a while. So expect some more weight loss videos, some random topics about canned meats that I've been trying out, different things. I also have some sauces I want to try. This sriracha sauce, for instance, Tabasco type sauce over here. Yeah, I'm going to be looking into all different types of, kind of meat-based, healthy type options as I go. All right. God bless, guys. We'll see you next time. Okay.